Hey, how y'all doing? This is Cooking with Dave again. I'm Dave. First, I'd like to say hello to Lauren. What's going on, Lauren? You and your crazy makeup. I never seen such makeup. It's crazy. It's pretty cool. Your painting's better. You should show more paintings. I think your paintings are pretty cool. I think your makeup's pretty cool too, though. But like I say, rock on, Tommy. That's what we're supposed to say. Two back to the UK from South Carolina. Rock on, Tommy. All right. Anyway, y'all crazy. Today we're gonna cook a pot roast, and I'm gonna cook it in my Dutch oven. I recently discovered this Dutch oven thing. I had known about Dutch ovens, heard about Dutch ovens all my life, but I really didn't understand what one was. So I went and read up on it, and I went out and got one, and it's bad to the bone. It is very cool. It cooks things evenly, thoroughly, makes them tender, juicy, you won't believe. And it's probably some of the easiest cooking. It's easy to keep it moist and juicy, especially when you cook it in a Dutch oven, nice and slow. I'm gonna show you how we do that. You can cook this in a pot on top of the stove, the same way I'm gonna cook it in this Dutch oven. You can cook this in the oven if you want to. You can put it in a roasting pan and cook it in the oven, same way. Just the Dutch oven kind of does it all for you. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. Okay, here we have our chuck roast. Looks very good. I like the chuck too because chuck's pretty cheap too, and it just cooks wonderful. It is a thing of beauty. I like the chuck also because it's tender, it's juicy, it's got some fat in it, it's hard to make it dry. You cook it easy, it's always good to you. All right. And what we're gonna do is take our Dutch oven and we're going to put a little olive oil in it, just enough to line the bottom, enough to saute our onions and our garlic. And then we're going to throw about a whole chopped up onion right in there. Then we're going to put I'm going to put 1.5 tablespoons, 3 teaspoons, 1.5 tablespoon there of garlic, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then I'm gonna get all that nice and stirred up in there, like so. Make me a bed of onion and garlic. Y'all know how I like the onion and garlic, it's good. And I'm gonna put the meat right down in there. And then I'm gonna put some Italian seasoning. Y'all know I like the Italian seasoning. I'm gonna put it right there on the beef. I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper right there on the beef. Put a little bit of salt, not a whole lot of salt, a little bit. Then I'm gonna flip it over and do that again. Italian seasoning, like Italian seasoning. A little pepper. And a little salt. All right. Then I'm gonna throw the lid on it. And then, if y'all notice, my Dutch oven has got legs on it. So this is the Dutch oven. You have to cook in this in the fire pit, or I'm gonna put it on the grill. I'm gonna show you. I made me a little grill thing. Put it on. Put the coals up underneath it. Put the coals on top of it, and have that thing cooked from top and bottom. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful. Dave's yard. There's the deck. Some flowers down there. Little crepe myrtles blooming a little bit. Crepe myrtle, big willow tree, deck, the shed. There's the shed. Down the hill, there's a lake down there. Y'all see the lake? I don't know if y'all can see the lake, but there's a lake down there. Y'all see the lake? There's a lake. Deck. Steve dog. That's Steve. Say hey, Steve. Steve, what you doing? Steve, say hey. Say what's going on? Dave, come on. Dave. He's crazy dog. Steve is a crazy dog. Okay, here we are back at the grill. Steve, stop being crazy. Alright, that's fire. See there? That's fire. It'll be alright. Alright, after those coals get done burning, turn white, we're going to start using them. I'll show you how we do it. Okay, after your fire's gone out off your coals and they're turning nice and white, real hot and ready to use, I'm going to place about
6 of them down here on the bottom in a circle. Now when you cook them with a Dutch oven, depending on what you're cooking, it's depending on how many you put on the bottom, how many you put on top. I'm gonna put 6 right there. I'm gonna put more on top than I do on bottom, so I want more heat coming down from the top, because heat rises. And if you're cooking something where you were frying it or something, you can put more on the bottom, put nothing on top, leave the lid off and fry it. Or if you can turn the lid upside down and put it there and use it for a griddle, which is pretty neat. Alright, now roast is in there, looking good. Got the coals on the bottom. Put the lid there. And then we put coals on the top. And the heat will also come down from the top and cook our roast throughout and make it tender, juicy, and wonderful. And while I'm cooking this, I'll check it, and I might flip it once or twice during its cooking. And when it gets tender and it's falling apart, I will call it done. And if it takes too long, it takes more than an hour and a half or so, these coals will be gone. This thing should be done in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. If not, then we just light more coals and put them on top up here and on bottom down there and cook away. I might actually have too many coals on top of this thing, but if it gets going too fast, when I check it, I can always take some off. Alright. That noise out there. Okay. Here we are back at our on the deck. Things making noises at us. Alright. We're gonna check this, give it a look, see how it's cooking. Take my fire poker and pick it up. Try not to drop any of the hot coals into the food. Alright. Looking good. Cooking wonderful. Look at that. Oh man, y'all can smell that. You wouldn't believe how wonderful that smells. Alright. Put that down in there. Give it a little flip. And we can continue to cook it. Alright, here we are back at our Dutch oven. I had to add about 5-6 coals to the top, and I put 2 or 3 underneath because my coals are running out. So they get all small and they go away. But we should be done. We're going to check this thing and see what it looks like. Try not to put any ashes into the food. That's the important part. Right. That's what it looks like. It's beautiful. Can y'all hear all those crickets and such? Just getting it out there. It's getting dark here. Almost getting too dark to make my video. It's I go almost 7 o'clock on the East Coast, and we get dark by 8 o'clock these days, I guess. But look at that roast. Tell me that thing isn't one of the best looking things you ever saw. Now I'm gonna check it for tenderness. Oh, look at that. Just tender. Look at that. I could probably cut that with a fork. Oh man, just juicy, looking wonderful. Look at, oh, just gorgeous. That's what you call a pot roast. Gotta like this Dutch oven. One of the easiest things there is to cook in, and it is ready. Get all those onions down up in there. Oh man, look at that. Tell me that don't look good. That is a pot roast. Okay, there we have our pot roast with collard greens and some butter beans. Only thing that thing lacks is some cornbread. Oh man, it looks good. It's gonna be well. Alright, this has been Cooking with Dave once again. Today we cooked pot roast in the Dutch oven. Remember, you don't have to cook this in the Dutch oven if you don't have one. Go out and get yourself one. They're cheap, 30 bucks. You can get a Dutch oven. You can get one that cooks on top of the stove if you want to. Or you can cook this thing in a pot on top of the stove, or you can put it in the oven, a roasting pan. Just do it the same way. Put it in there, put it on about 350, 300. Let it go for a couple, 3 hours until it gets tender and juicy. Don't dry it out, just till it gets tender and juicy, and you will love it. All right, y'all have a great day. Thanks.